Yeah, we're back, let's celebrate. 20 years strong, Columbia, it's great. Wildcats in the house, let's rise and shine. In Cardinal and gold, it's our time to grind. From the first day we stepped on this scene, with dreams in our hearts, we knew what we gleaned. Running through the hallways, spirit so loud. Together as one, we'll always be proud. Athletics on fire, each team taking flight. Chasing every goal under the stadium lights. From the field to the court, we bring our A game. Hear the roar of the crowd, they calling our name. Wildcats forever.
Good afternoon, Wildcat Nation. It's time for episode 24 of the Wildcat Way Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, we want to shout out our Wildcat Way sponsor, Moxie Java of Nampa. They are taking on our Wildcat Way sponsorship for the Pillar Integrity. My name is Wiatt, Plugge, and I am your host today. Would you please introduce yourselves and tell us what grade you're in and what stuff you do at Columbia, like sports or other academics?
I'm Max Keller. I'm a junior at Columbia High School, and I'm just a part of the basketball team.
I'm Reeping. I'm a senior, and I just play basketball.
I'm Easton, Lott. I'm a junior. I play football, basketball, and track.
Okay, our basketball team has been pretty successful this season so far, which is why we have some questions for you. Let's start off with what originally made you fall in love with basketball, and when did you know you wanted to take it seriously?
I'd say the first time I really fell in love with basketball was I was super young at one of my sister's games, and she was in fourth grade or whatever, but it was just so much fun watching. They won the championship. They were the only co-ed team in the tournament they were in. And they won the championship, and it was just so much fun to watch. I always got to shoot at halftime and stuff like that. I always got to practice with them. So that just really got me really excited about basketball. I fell in love with it. Yeah,
that's great. Anyone else?
Growing up, I had two older brothers, and they both came through Columbia High School. So watching them growing up, they both went to East Valley as well. So getting to watch their club games and their high school games, it was just super fun. That just kind of motivated me to be good at basketball.
Yeah, I totally get that. Next question is, how would you describe your role on this team, both on and off the court?
I feel like for me, I'm more of an energy giver. Whatever I do is always to give permission to my team to go make hustle plays or go just give it everything they got. And I really try to do that off the court too, just make sure everyone's included and everyone's happy and stuff like that.
Yeah. For you guys, what do you think has been the toughest moment of the season so far, and how did you guys get through and regroup after that moment?
So first conference game of the year, we played Middleton. It was our first home conference game as well, and we lost by 30. It was pretty embarrassing. I felt like to the whole team. Felt like we let everyone down in the school, and we got to that moment by the next day. We had a player-only meeting of every single person on the team. And we kind of just described, what's going to happen for us this season. What are we going to be for the rest of the season? And I think we came out of that the next day. We went and we played at BK, which is a very tough place to play at. And we beat them pretty handily. So I think that was probably the toughest moment. And I think we bounced back from it pretty well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I agree.
What's something that people don't see behind the scenes of being on this team?
I think it's just the commitment level that we give. Every day is 3+ hours, whether it's film, working out with our trainer AK, or just practice, or even just team bonding. All of us on the team are friends. We're really close, so it's just a really great environment. And I think that's just some things you really never really see.
Yeah, what does a typical day schedule look like for you guys?
Usually it starts out with film with whatever team we're going up against this week. And then we go into AK training, which is stuff to prevent injury or just stretching on whatever muscles are tight that week. And then we get into our practice, usually 2 hours, and that's where we go to work and do all our stuff.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot. This one's for all of you guys. Who on the team pushes you the hardest in practice, and why?
I think Max probably pushes me the hardest in practice. He always holds me accountable, holds everybody accountable, and is always trying to get me to play the best I possibly can.
I got Parks Johnson. Whenever the energy's low, he's always there to pick everyone up and make sure we're doing the right thing.
I got Parks Johnson, and I also have Lincoln Erickson. He's a senior leader, and I think Parks. They're both team captains, and I think they're both really influential with the team. Like Easton talked about, when the energy's low, you can definitely tell that they'll pick it up.
Yeah. Well, what's one game or moment that you guys will never forget? Like your favorite all-time basketball moment?
This season.
I got a few. I got two at least. Well, the first one is probably out in Preston against Hillcrest. It was like a kind of late game scenario. Like we're up by like 8 or something, and I got my first in-game dunk. That was definitely a moment to remember forever. And the second one was Valley View. It was first quarter, kind of a close game, like a 5-point game. And we're going into the second quarter, and Max dribbles up the court, hands it to me, and I shoot a half-court shot, and I banked it in, and we gained 8 points on him, and that really helped us going into the second quarter.
Honestly, mine is probably watching Easton get his first in-game dunk. That was because I know he's been really wanted to get that, and that was a great moment to watch.
Yeah, wow, all those are great.
What's your favorite moment? You're on the basketball team. So everybody knows that you're on the varsity team.
I am on the varsity basketball team.
Yeah.
These are my teammates. My favorite moment this season would probably have to be last night, our game for Moose. Last night, just beating BK. Like, it was a tough game last time. We barely won. I think we won by 4 last time. And then we just came out there and, like, the second half of our season is just gone, like, just the way we wanted to. And we just took the lead, and now I think we're second in the state right now. So I think, that's probably my favorite.
I'm going to throw you guys off. I got one more question just that spurred me on this one. So neat, looking down your bench and watching all of your games this year and just seeing that anybody that's on the bench is also usually on the court. Next man up, right? Like, and you don't count on one certain person for you guys, like that teams can focus on and shut down. What is that like for you as a team or your coaching staff? How have they prepared you for that philosophy as a team?
I would say for us, it's a really big deal because I think that gives us, like, we've always known that would give us an edge over teams because most teams, have 2 or 3 people that come off the bench and, they got 5 guys who never even check in the game. But us, we have there's times in the game where there's only 1 starter on the floor, sometimes barely any. Like, it's just always like there's not really one person that the team relies on to do everything for us. It's just a total collective effort from every single person on the team, which is really it's something special. It's not like any team I've ever been on before.
How have your coaches helped that in your mindset, going into the season?
I think it's kind of like it's what we always talk about, our oneness. It's like our mantra for our team, and I feel like it's the next man up mentality of we're a brotherhood, and so we have belief in every single player on the team. Like, there's not a guy on the team that when they sub in the game or when they do this that I'm like, please don't do that. Like, don't sub this person in the game. Like, I feel like every single person on my team I truly have full trust in to be in a game and be really good in a game. I just think that's just something that we've preached from the beginning, that the coaches have preached from the beginning.
Now, on to the other questions. How do you stay locked in mentally when shots aren't falling or things aren't going your way?
One really big thing for us is just go to the next play. We try not to dwell on, past plays or past things that have happened in the game. And so I just think keeping the next play mindset and just staying completely confident in yourself and your teammates is really huge for those situations.
I'd say Coach Cotter, our assistant coach, really harps on that. He would like to say that, obviously we're not all perfect. All shots aren't going to go in. And that really helps, the mind state. We're going to miss a shot, but it's always next play. Something that I saw was, someone missed, 9 shots in one game, and they asked how many seconds did it take for each shot to be missed. And it was, about a second, so, 9 seconds. And there's about, 30 minutes in the game?
32 minutes. Yeah.
So, the question was, how do you let 9 seconds affect the rest of, the 21 minutes? And that really – stood out to me, and I've really been trying to use that for the next few games.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I was just gonna add on to that. Talking about when things aren't going anywhere, shots aren't falling. I think I don't know how deep our bench is and how good our guys are. if you just shoot in a game and you realize maybe it's not your game, to lean on your brother. Like there's been a couple games this year where like my shots don't fall or Easton's shots don't fall, but we're able to lean on someone else and someone else is able to get us there with the scoring production, and you're able to like lead the team on something else. Like maybe it's not your night to shoot, but you can go rebound or you can go get assists and someone else will lead us in scoring.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you could give one piece of advice to younger players at our school or in elementary or middle school or people that look up to you, what would you say to them?
I would say just listen to your coaches. Make sure that you're always locked in on what they're saying, even if you don't really think it's the right decision or the right thing that they should be saying. You just have to trust them, especially our coaches. Like I've never trusted a coach more in my life than any of our coaches. So especially kids with our school, and kids who are going to be coming to Columbia, like having trust in your coach is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. And then what are some goals that you guys have as a team this year? Like what's the end goal? What's, some milestones along the way?
Definitely to win a state championship.
Yeah, I think that's the main goal is to get to the state championship and win it.
All right. Yeah. I think we have one more question.
I have a question. This is more directed at adversity.
Mm-hmm.
You've had to go through a lot of adversity. You went through a ton of adversity last year for the things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
How have you used that for good rather than dwelling on things that have happened in the past?
One big thing I've done is just continuing to love my teammates and my coaches, and giving them the full support that they all need and deserve, because they did the exact same thing for me last year. Like I've never felt so included in something as I did last year when I got chopped, is what I usually say. It was a really interesting feeling that next game at Skyview or against Skyview, I was just, it was a crazy moment, and it was something really special to be a part of. So that has really helped me a lot, just to know that everybody has my back, and so I can have everybody else's back.
Can I say one thing about that? I think Dom just resembled like the perfect amount of selflessness in that whole scenario. Like what he went through is like got to be one of the toughest things you could go through as a high school basketball player. And the way that he like stuck around the program and was like he made himself a factor. Like even though he couldn't play on the court, like in practice, he battled really hard every single day, knowing that he was never going to get a minute in the game. And then on the bench in games, he was super loud and super effective.
Yeah. The last question we have is, what team on your schedule do you have circled? What's the guys that you're coming for?
Preston High School.
Why?
They're kind of the
Powerhouse.
like the top. Yeah, they're the
Back-to-back
powerhouse.
state champions.
Yeah, they're the top dog in 5A right now, and we played them in their Christmas tournament, holiday tournament, and we lost by 1, and we definitely could have won that game for sure. So that gives us a lot of confidence going into the state tournament.
I also have them. I think Twin Falls. Those are the two teams that we're likely to see in the state championship, or in state at least, is Twin or Preston, and we both lost to them both by 1. And I just feel like I don't know if you guys like. I just really want to get back on both of them. So I think being able to see both of them on a back-to-back games, I think that'd be really fun to win.
That'd be great.
Yeah, all that was great. All right, Wildcat Nation, we had a great crowd last night at the home game versus Bishop Kelly, and we need everyone at Valley View on Friday night at 7:30. Next week, we have our crosstown rival Skyview on Tuesday for a huge game where we also need everyone to be there. It's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting. All right, thank you, guys.